Good evening to you. Nick Ortego here in the 7 on Your Side Weather Center. It's about 9:30 on a Wednesday night. Wanted to give you an update on the tropical wave out in the Gulf of Mexico. The National Hurricane Center now says that there's a 60% chance that it'll develop into a tropical system somewhere within the next 48 hours. Now, just to give you some perspective, that chance was at 10% earlier this morning, elevated to a 30% chance this afternoon, and a little bit after our 6 o'clock newscast, they upgraded that to a 60% chance. Looking at the storm on a satellite, we're trying to find maybe some low-level circulation. It looked like something was trying to get going for a little while earlier today, not quite so clear. As we go further throughout this satellite loop, we'll now flip over to an infrared image. On the infrared image, you can tell that the storm, or what may be Lee, is still very lopsided at this point in time, so no real symmetry to the storm. But conditions seem conducive for development. Watching wind shear near the storm, it is somewhat favorable, the bright area indicating the favorable areas, and actually it's expected to become more favorable in the Gulf of Mexico over the next 24 to 48 hours. The NVEST, known as 93L by the Hurricane Center, has winds of 35 miles per hour, movement northwest at 10 miles per hour. And the good news is we're at 6 o'clock, we only had a few limited models. Now we are getting more models trying to pick up and paint a picture of where this storm might go. Now, intensity is still all around, all across the board here with how the storm may go. It looks like some models want to just have it become a depression. Some want to bring it all the way to hurricane strength. Then, as for the direction, you can see these models are kind of stalling in many locations, or even looping back around. What is consistent about the models, which isn't so much their direction, but it's just the fact that they all kind of hang out in the same area over an extended period of time. So what I'm afraid we could see here is the possible development of something tropical, and then it kind of meander on or just off the coast of Louisiana or Mississippi or Texas. Now, if it's meandering or hanging out on or over land, that would be good. That would impede development of the storm. But if it happens to hang off just over the water area off the coast, we could be really watching the storm strengthen and cause all sorts of problems over the southeastern United States, including the Pine Belt region. So we need to watch out for the potential for setting us up into where we could see flooding conditions, maybe even consistent wind conditions, just kind of depending on where that storm would develop. Once again, the timeline would start on Friday and carry all the way through the weekend, maybe the first part of next week, that we're really going to kind of be under the gun from what could become Tropical Storm Lee. That's about all we have right now from the 7 on Your Side Weather Center. I'm Nick Ortego. We appreciate you trusting WDAM to bring you your local weather coverage.